Welcome to Man's Weekly Roundtable Discussion. I'm Lawrence Littleton, Executive Director of Man NFP, author and creator of Man's Community Violence Intervention, Workforce Development, and Community Development Curriculum, and the author of America, the Ultimate Me Society, available now on Amazon. This roundtable is designed to bring people together for thoughtful, solution-focused conversation to keep things respectful and organized. Please raise your hand before speaking. I'll call on participants in the order hands were raised. Everyone will have at least 1 minute to speak, so every voice has a chance to be heard. Our topics will change each week, allowing us to explore different issues from multiple perspectives. This week's topic, Black men born in America. Our conditions, are we in a state of emergency? Together, we'll highlight the positive aspects of our nation, the things worth protecting, building on, and celebrating. Let's have an open, honest discussion, and remember the goal is to learn from each other. All right. Um, what do you guys think? I thought that topic would bring some people to the table.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Uh, uh, it should have. It should have. It
So I
definitely
think
should have.
I think we might have to rewind on a couple of these things that we discussed because interesting. But
Yeah.
I'll start it off since I created this thing. I Black men born in America, our conditions. So our conditions are, when we look at the areas of activity, just a couple areas. I don't remember all nine of them like Neely Fuller do, but um, let's just start with labor and incarceration and and labor employment, household structures, competition with other groups and for resources and employment being the number one thing. The mindset of the average black male that we've encountered throughout our experiences and in our communities. I would say that our conditions are poor, but there are a lot of us who are doing well, and it's hard to gauge who they are because uh, the media, social media, and the general group reputation, highlights these negative aspects. But I like to look at middle class neighborhoods in Black America, and if you go down the blocks, you see the houses. There are a lot of black males, older black men in those houses that work every day and do the right thing and are honorable, decent, respectable people. They just don't have really a lot of impact on our group reputation uh, for various reasons. But overall, I think that our conditions are, if I had to grade it, from on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say, 4.5, 5. That's just my assessment. And are we in a state of emergency? I would say definitely. From what I've seen growing up, in the 50 years I've been on the planet, I think we are in a state of emergency because we cannot compete. We're not competing as a group. We compete as individuals, but we're not competing as a group. And because of that, our communities, as a whole, in terms of real estate owning, in terms of small business owning, and in terms of uh, creating economic infrastructure that's sustainable. I'm taking that from my brother Rico, sustainable for generations to come, like other groups. For example, what I mean by that is landscaping and contracting. For the last 40 years or so, 50 years or so, the Mexicans or the Hispanics, if you say that's a part of their group reputation that will sustain future generations. I watch my guy Lupe, who's my guy here. He bring his son, his little boy, about he ain't even out of high school yet. When he come to do jobs, he got his little boy with him. You know, learning. So
Right.
he's learning. So these things are will sustain him. He'll always be able to pick up a hammer and some nails and a screwdriver and go in and troubleshoot things and that involve with as under the real estate industry. But with that, I'll go ahead and yield because I want to show you guys some stats too, but I want to get you guys, opinions, theories.
Okay.
No, go for it. I
Oh,
yield.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought you were trying to pull the stats up right now, something like that.
I am after you guys talk though. I want to
Oh,
hear
okay.
what you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, brother, you want to go or
I mean, yeah, I can go.
okay?
Well, how I see it, like, honestly, I think, like, there's, like, a recovery gap where it comes from, like, slavery up until now, where it's, like, we've been oppressed so much that it put our mindsets and psychologically we're damaged as men. And, like, the gap of recovery is widening, like, over time. And I believe that that gap needs to be decreased like at a faster pace before it gets too much to even recover from, like as a whole. Like, you know how we had Black Wall Street and black people coming together. I think the divide and conquer tactic has been destroying us so much that if we don't stabilize everything as soon as possible, then it may get too far gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, my opinion on it is that uh, I believe that we are in a state of emergency, and I'll say why I believe that. Because I would say that, and I'm not going to even say that it's just so much is the because we already know that we experienced some things when it comes to oppression and stuff like that. But I believe that why I say we're in a state of emergency is because you know the policies that's been put in place. I don't think a lot of us focus enough on them. And those policies, you know what I'm saying, they reward, you know what I mean, victimhood, uh, shift responsibility. And it puts us in a state where we don't, it's not so much lack information, but we don't understand it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's information available. But if you don't actually understand what it means or what you're reading or what these policies mean or what uh what this means for you as a black man, you know what I'm saying, economically, mentally, socially, you know what I'm saying, systematically, like you don't understand like what these things can do to you and how they don't aid you and it's not in the benefit for you. Um, I think we got a real emergency when it comes to those things. So I think that for us, man, yeah, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna go with 7 because I'm gonna go with 7 and yeah, I'm gonna stick with that because I believe that um the system was kind of designed to keep us reacting instead of like really understanding and getting still and get to the point where we can start to rebuild because everybody in survival mode, man. And everybody racing to get to somewhere they don't actually really know where they're going, but they just know they need to keep going. And when you think you get into that place, then it's like, well, shifted again. You know what I mean? That way you're going now. So yeah, because we got a lot of things I believe, man, that we got going against us, man, as far as like what he was saying before when he opened up about, the media and stuff like that, man, and the ownership and, there's a lot of stuff we just don't understand. The information is there, but we don't actually know what it means. But that's my take on it.
Okay. All right. Um. So what I'll do now is, can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's big enough. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right, so incarceration nationwide. We got prison, state and federal, and this is from 2023. Black adults were in prison at 1,218 per 100,000. So that's every 100,000 people, 1,218, about 5 times the rate of white adults. Overall adult male rate was 871 per 100K. Local jails, 2023, 552. That's 3.6 times the rate of white and probably others as well. We look at employment, professional and related, uh, only 21.6%. Management, business, and financial operations, 14. Service occupations, 21. Transportation and material moving, I think that'd be up in you where you at, Rico. 11.4. Production, construction and extraction, something that we look at that number. Office and administration support, sales, farming, fishing, we ain't even in there. Black homicide victims, black male homicide victims. That's the one well, we can go with all of them. Killed by firearms. 86% was killed with firearms. Over 8 times the rate of white males, 46.1 per 100,000. And that's from 2023. That's, I mean, we can look at Chicago and over like born and raised in Chicago and see it. See, the disparity and the homicides. I'll show you what I do for that in Chicago real quick. What I usually do is, let's see if I can do it real quick. They might have changed it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, they changed it. You got to go to each story. But anyway, they used to have it laid out where you could see the race of the victims. But I mean, you could tell by the neighborhood or whatever most times that who was shot. But if you go down this list of people who've been killed this year in Chicago, over 80% of them are black. Over 80% of them are black. You can see that just from me scrolling through the names. You see that? You
Mm-hmm.
see some Hispanics, but you see mainly blacks. You see that? Blacks dominating. So that's just a snapshot of the homicide picture, and those mostly were killed by other blacks. We can agree on that. Let's look at the literacy rates. About 1 in 5 U.S. adults have low English literacy. 36% of black adults scored the lowest literacy levels, level 1, compared to 12% of whites. Recent data shows overall declines, but full race breakdowns are pending. The source of Department of Education, which this guy is pretty much trying to dismantle because he said it ain't worth shit. These indicators, incarceration, employment disparities, gun violence, and literacy, paint a picture of systemic inequity that continues to shape the lived experience of black men in America. The evidence supports the framing questions. Are we in a state of emergency? The data suggests that the conditions warrant urgent and sustained action across all these just different areas. So, do you guys get the general consensus that black people overall are moving like we are in a state of emergency? That there is a state of emergency?
You said, do we believe that they are moving like we're in a state of
Yeah.
emergency?
Do you
No,
think that we no?
No,
no, no.
I mean, we got thousands and thousands upon of nonprofit organizations now, a whole system of nonprofit organizations that are out here doing work. You know, CVI, which we are both a part of. So I mean, I think there are efforts, but I don't know if they really understand the gravity of what's really happening to us. I don't really think
No,
that. I don't think they understand that we're being eliminated. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, because we didn't accept it as just being normal, and so that's in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think it's we look at what's being done to us, but it's like it's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? And it's just the way it is. And so now I think that's a issue with us with a lot of things that I say this all the time, like, dude, this is not natural law. Like this shit was made up to be. It was designed a certain way. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you plant a seed in the ground, you nurture it, you water it, you know that it grows. Okay, that's natural law. But like the way this shit is going, like this is not you know what I'm saying? This is not natural. Like this shit was designed this way, man. And we don't I think a lot of us have just accepted it as just the way that it is and just try to survive through it. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of us don't really see it as an emergency. I think we just trying to find ways to survive through it because this is what it is. That's why I ask people a lot of times, like, are we really trying to get change or are we just trying to find a way to navigate through this and accept
Mm,
it for what it is? You see what I'm saying? Like, are we accepting this for what it is and just trying to find a way to navigate through it? You know, kind of like trying to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, as long as it don't hit me, shit, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
I
that's
do know.
that's
I do know what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I believe. It's just an economic trap, man. So I don't think we actually see it as a state of emergency. You know what I'm saying? Um, we just been kind of accepted it, like it is what it is, and I'm gonna just try to get myself through it. So I think that's where it come back down to the whole, group economics and stuff like that. Like we don't see it that way. I don't think we moving like we in a state of emergency. Not at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that we have like a psychological blindfold over. We get in the state where, like, even if you got certain organizations that's going good, you got certain black people that's going good, and overall, it's not all good. And one thing about it is, like, I think we're being blinded by like social media. It's all the action tactics, and honestly, like, we like a currency that has nothing really tangible backing it. Like we disenfranchised from our root culture. We separated from Africans. You have Africans that actually don't see us as people of their nation. They just see us as just Americans. So it's like we really don't have any like society as a whole. Like throughout the whole country. Like I don't think that we all are on the same page. I think a lot of other cultures, with even just within this country, are actually communicating with each other for the betterment of all of the people in their culture. I don't think we
Hmm.
do enough.
Well, if you look at those coaches, who are the leaders?
Mean
I
like the
mean, yeah. If you look at
individually.
take the East Indians for instance, who the leaders of the East Indian cultures and societies in America? Who lead them?
Um, I'm not sure.
They men. They men lead them. Their men
Hmm.
are the leaders. If you look at the Hispanic community, who are their leaders? They're men. If you look at the Chinese, who lead them? They're men. The whites, it depends. You got to section them off. If you look at the, it's a little different when you get into that because of the social engineering and programming. But in general, the men are the leaders of the communities that are most healthy. And
Hmm.
all, and you absolutely on point with what you said. Psychological blindfolds. We're not all on one accord. We all see things differently. In reference to Africa, the way Africans look at us as not being African because it's a cultural thing. They see, and Africans don't see each other as the same people on the continent. Different tribes. It's still a
Okay. Thank you.
very tribal place. So they don't see each other as the same people. The Black American is the one who, and here in America with Marcus Garvey and Elijah and all those guys who tried to unite African people as one group. But that's damn near impossible because we're just such a divided group of people with different ideologies and different concepts, and we don't move like the rest. We don't move like the Chinese. We don't move like the East Indian. We don't move like these other groups. So that puts us at a severe disadvantage. But black men born in America, our conditions have been um, compounded over time because we have been the target of the real target of said oppression, the real target of being of real racism, uh, which is keeping you out of places that will allow you to compete and sustain yourself in business and labor and all these other forces. And I mean, all these other industries, being deliberately blocked out and distracted with the leaders of Black America, which are Black women, with this narrative that racism is somebody not liking you and being treated fair and equality and being accepted by other people. That's not racism. Racism is when you walk down the street in your neighborhood that your ancestors fought for and died for, and you ain't the contractors in the properties. You don't own not even 50% of the properties anymore in these neighborhoods. I ride past and you see the road work being done. You see everybody else crews. You don't even see it, nobody who reflects you. You see, just like those statistics say, you see a small number of black males being represented in dump trucks, garbage trucks, streets, and construction, blah blah blah. Very small, a small, minute number. So those are the staggering reality of the black man's plight in America. And if you speak up and say something about it, you're told that, stop whining. You're a victim. Woe is me. Blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is right there. You're not even respected in your own household. You're not respected in your community. You're not respected in business. You can't come together and produce anything, and that's why you're not respected. But not being respected in your own household is by far, in my opinion, one of the most deepest disrespects that a man can have. It's demoralizing. You come home and you say ABC, and your woman, wife, or whoever you would look at you like you got to be out your goddamn mind. You think I'm gonna do what you say? Why should I do what you say? Who is you? Whereas if the Asian man come home and he say Ching Ling ABC, she jump up and bow. ABC, sir. So you know, yeah, we in a state of emergency, and I think some of the solutions is it's not overnight. It's not even over the next 5 to 10 years. Probably take 20, 30 years before if we ever even see any type of real reform with black males. But the first thing that I think that we have to do is start to create like a pattern of unity formed around character. Character meaning your morals, your values, your integrity levels, your discipline levels, being able to be a person of your word, having some moral decency. You bring a few black males together that are on the same frequency, that has the same moral character or moral structure, then you may actually be able to get things done. For instance, Rico learned about this roundtable 3, 4 weeks ago, and he been on every one. You see, that's an indication to, yeah, that's an indication to me that if I did business with Rico, we can build something. Because I'm gonna be here, sun, rain, sleet, snow, hurricane, tornado. If I give you my word, that's what it is. I die by it. And
Right.
yeah, in our character and in our community and our culture, your word don't mean shit, don't mean nothing, and that's why we weak. But that's my take. I talk a lot, so go for it, guys.
Um, yeah, I mean, man, you pretty much you laid out a lot right there. Um, you laid you laid out a lot right there, man. Um, I I'm gonna just touch on a point. I'm gonna ask you this question. So when we were talking, you were talking about the black man not being respected in the home and things of that nature. So I want to ask, what do you guys believe? Uh, what disempowered him? What did the woman see that that was like what replaced him?
A
You see what I'm
check,
saying? What? Okay, all right,
a, a check.
okay, yeah,
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 it's in the
yeah.
yeah, a check. Yeah, I wrote about it in the
Dependency.
book. Yeah, so they replaced the black man with a welfare check. So
Yep.
your value is tied to money and materialism. Chapter 7 in my book is tied to, so everything is transactional. So they don't really respect you. They respect what you got. And and that's a part of the weaponization of black women against you, is that they don't see any value in you outside of what you can produce. So that makes them pretty much your enemy. And I give an example. Um, in other cultures, Latino cultures, for instance, I'll use them. You'll notice Juan and Jose standing outside Home Depot every day, no real jobs, getting picked up for temp labor and things like that, going out, making what they can, come back. When they come back home, Maria is still there. She ain't looking at Juan and saying nothing about what you bring to the table. You got to make this amount of money and blah, blah, blah. You ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. They understand while he at work, uh, uh, picking up some temp services, she done used the EBT card they got, went and bought some fruit, and they done built a stand and they stand on the corner selling Mexican treats. And then they come back home and whatever they got, that's theirs. That's theirs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God damn. I'm sorry, guys. And that's gonna be on tape. My wife just brought me two beautiful empanadas. They look gorgeous. I didn't even ask. That's what I'm saying. I have to
Right,
get used to that kind of stuff. I ain't used to that.
right,
She'll just
right,
walk down here and bring me a beverage or something to eat, and I'm like, what's that for? Is that for you?
right,
What's going on
right.
down
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
so
amazing.
so and over generations they have taught that, that's been passed down, that you are only as good as what you can produce. In fatherhood, for instance, in black fatherhood, I used to always say when I was in the 90s that if you ain't bought shit, then you ain't shit. And I didn't even realize what I was saying at that time. So your value is intrinsically tied to materialism, and that's why you don't get respect in your household amongst the women that you know naturally created to pair with and bond with and mate with, because we are a tribe. So
Right,
and that's why you see a lot of black males going elsewhere. Like myself, I've been studying culture for years, so I realized that I've created my own culture that I live by. I've separated myself from the Black American culture. I still got some of that in me, no doubt, and I'm proud of that. But as far as my morals, principles, social values, how I see the world, my worldview is not the same as the group of people that I've born and raised with. I've deviated and delineated from that. And that's why I started to realize that when I would date, when I was single and match up with them. I mean, I can hit. They easy to hit. But then after that, I'm like, damn, what do we got in common? I realized she don't like me. I don't like her. She talking all these other things. That's a part of that culture that I've already separated myself from. She don't respect me enough to say, well, I like what this guy's talking about. So unless I got $1 million, if I had $1 million saying the things I'm saying, then more than likely she'd be like, nigga, I don't. You can say whatever you want. Just give me some of that $1 million, and I'll roll with you. You can, but with that being said, I realized that I become socially and culturally incompatible with the women of my tribe. So I realized that, first I was going motherland, and then I thought about that. My brothers from the mother kept telling me, you don't want to do that. You get them over to America, they're going to become Americanized. So then I said, well, I started looking at this Latino culture, and I realized that, Africans got dropped off in Latin lands, by the Spanish. My theory was correct. My theory was correct. I was able to give me a Latina, a African, Afro Latina, with that culture that's in her. She already knows how to be a wife. I don't have to talk to her about being a wife. I don't have to talk to her about respecting me. I don't have to even say anything like that. I don't even come up in our household. She ain't worried about what I'm doing on my phone, where I'm at and what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with and all that shit. That don't mean nothing to her. What means something to her
Right.
is who I am as a person, and what type of husband I am, and what type of father that I am to her son.
Right.
That's one. That's more important than how much what I can buy. And because of that, black males have to. I think I'm the format. I think I'm the blueprint. I'm not saying that you have to go and go get your Afro Latina. I'm saying that you need to put your morals, your values, and your integrity first, and some sexual discipline. And if you do get a woman, wherever she's from, you need to be committed to this woman, and you need to. She needs to fit a certain criteria before you go putting your meat in her, and that means your money, energy, attention, and time. You need to keep your meat, your spiritual meat, physical meat, and all your meat away from women who don't have your best interests at heart or who don't know how to roll with your program. And that's one of the things that makes the black man weak is that he wastes his meat any and everywhere. He's full of lust. He know that that's what he's known for. That's why women run roughshod over the black man in America is because they know he's a lust demon. They know that he'll fuck anything. They know that all he got to do is be offered some pussy and he'll do whatever he's told to do because he's been raised to worship women and sex. So he don't know no damn better. He just want to fuck, and that's when you lose power. And in order for us to start to make these numbers go down or reverse these numbers, we have to start to preserve power and understand how to obtain power within ourselves. And one of the main issues is sexual discipline. You need to start keeping your meat to yourself, not you, Rico. You got a wife,
Right.
and you can
Absolutely.
yeah, you put your meat all over there.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your meat is there, but young guys who out here single without a wife, you need to be real intentional and direct about how you doing your meat, and that's tough because in our culture we've been taught ever since we was 12, 13, 11 years old that you're supposed to be doing the opposite with your meat, that you're supposed to be fucking, fucking, fucking. And then once that happens to you, you get addicted to it and you start to believe that you need coochie and you need to be with them and then you have to pair with them. And when you do that, that's it. That you done damn near signed a death warrant.
That's
You
when you
know,
pop off the wrong baby mama.
nah, that's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
Yeah. You done signed a death warrant pretty much. Now you done paired with a bitch that's crazy. And 90% of them, in my opinion, are designed, have been programmed for generations to be against you. They the ones who have been weaponized to destroy you. Where you think these numbers come from? Over 80% of the guys that's locked up, who they come from? They come from single mothers. I don't even have to go through the horror stories about what it's like growing up with them. With these people, with these women as mothers. I feel I call them bars, but I feel bar complaints damn near on the daily. People calling me, man, this I can't believe what just happened, man. This chick just kicked me out the gym. I ain't even doing nothing. I'm just, but she see you and she's programmed to be against you. So, you have to be intentional and understand the dynamics of the cultural landscape that you're living in as a black man, and understand that you have enemies. And as much as you want to be kumbaya and we all one people, we ain't. We ain't one people, and you need to have your self-serving interest with other black males as number one before you start to bring other people, and mainly women, into your fold because you be literally sleeping with the enemy. And I said all that to say it sounded like I was off topic a little bit, but in reality, I was giving you a formula to be successful as a black man born in America, how to build armor for yourself so you don't fall victim to these plots, plans, and schemes, and that's directed at you to keep you out of the
Yeah,
marketplace.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that, man. We haven't uh figured, a lot of the brothers don't even what you said about building your own culture, building your own foundation, what I'm saying, whether, what I'm saying it's in your home business or whatever. So you got your own program that you operating on. And a lot of brothers, man, don't have the courage to do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the I'm not gonna say the mindset, but I wanted to say, like, I don't think they had the courage to do that because I believe that we want to be validated, so we want to be in a situation where we accept it. You see what I'm saying? And so for you to have to do that, because I'm the same way. I operate on my own.
I noticed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes unpopular. It becomes because when you sit and you talk to people and you try to have these conversations, they don't go over so well sometimes with people, because everybody's been so programmed, man. And we was talking about that before about unlearning, and relearning. Yeah, so I think that is important. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have somebody, especially if you're talking about a partner. You know what I mean? Who's not going against you. Because like I said, it's a lot of that. So it's a lot of people coming into relationships, man, and it's like y'all really fighting against each other. You see what I'm saying? Like you ain't really trying to even hit nothing. You already coming in saying I ain't trying to hit shit. This is what it is, and that's that. And so the man, he a lot of them conform to that. And like he was just saying about protecting your meat. I don't. A lot of them don't have the skill set to do that, man. Um, or not even trying because shit, man. He's just trying to fuck. And then he found himself in a situation where, damn, now what? You know what I'm saying? It's a lost cause here. Now he on to the next thing, and another lost cause, and it's just shit. It's just start spiraling downhill, and it's just it don't work, man. But you made a
Leave them
valid point on
defeated.
that.
Leave them
Yeah,
defeated. Yeah. And that's the
yeah,
purpose. That's the purpose to leave you defeated, leave you
yeah,
disadvantaged. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So it's yeah, I 100% agree with everything you said. You know what I'm saying? For real, everything. You know what I mean? So I just think that we had to, detox too, man, from like opinions, man, of people. You know what I'm saying? So I think we had to really take, because I think a lot of times, man, a lot of times we listen to a lot of stuff, and the more you listen to a lot of this shit, you get more confused because you got so many people, man. You got so many opinions that's leading your ass nowhere. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, you know, and then your ass get confused, and then you just start trying to seek out more fucking opinions, and then you know what I'm saying? Then it just lead you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you just feel disempowered. You like, fuck it, I don't know, just whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because I think, man, a lot of times, man, I believe that I think a lot of times we actually have a lot of shit that's on our mind that we want to speak about or that we feeling. We just won't express it. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I really don't want to do that, but fuck it, it's what everybody else doing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just roll with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think a lot of brothers don't have that. I'm trying to look for the look think about the word that I wanted to use, but we don't have uh I'm trying to think of a word to use, but we don't have that uh like we can't self-govern. I would say, like, you see what I'm saying? We need so much from everybody outside of us to kind of direct us and tell us what to do. And we that comes from not, I guess, man, us being broken down mentally.
Powerless.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because we definitely lack self-governing and self-control. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, shit, we yeah, I mean, it's showing up every day, man. So yeah, that's why I say I believe that now I'm gonna ask you this kind of uh off topic a little bit, but what do you feel about? Do you feel that? What do you feel about the churches when it comes to the black men and the black community?
Um, Historically, our ancestors and even on the continent, the religions come from other groups. The
Hmm.
European brought us Catholicism and Christianity. The Arab brought us Islam and all those things. And I trust that in each one of those religions, there is some good. And if that will make you a better person, then I'm with it. I did that. That was not my stance years ago. But as I evolved and matured, if that can create and be a grocery store for your character ingredients, and that's gonna make you a better person, then that's fine. But boils down to an individual thing according to what makes you tick as a person, what type of man you are. The type of I use myself as an example. Me personally, religion don't work for me. The way my
Right,
personality is, yeah, the way my personality is designed, the way I think, the way I move, I can't see myself going into someone else's religion, church, building, mosque, or whatever, sitting there listening to somebody tell me the word of God and all that kind of stuff. I just don't see it that way. I see the world through the eye. I see the place through the eyes of as close as I can be to nature. I see the creation in terms of the universe and the laws of creation and the laws of nature, which the religions have those things intertwined, but they also got some other stuff intertwined in there that allows man to rule over you in large masses, you know. And I think that the concept is okay, but it just don't work for me, because if you look at churches, traditionally they can gather large groups of people and put large groups of people in the same place and space under one objective. And in the days coming out of slavery and in slavery, those things were used for black people's advantage. But as time went on, post 1960s, they've turned into something whole totally different than what they were used for back in those days to create morally upright people, which it did. That's why I had to change my tone on it because coming out of slavery, black people showed America what morality looked like. Using their
right,
own religion. Yeah, using their own religion is what turned the tide on a lot of the violence towards blacks, a lot of the a lot of the outright you can't do this racism type of thing. It's because they resiliency and their ability to stand morally upright in the face of evil, and they use these people religion to do so. So,
right.
in that regard, I got respect for it. But again, overall, to conclude and answer your question, Uh, it doesn't work for me. Religion just don't work for me. I can't see myself, and I've done too much studying and researching and, spend hours and hours reading and researching Rome and Greece and Persia and all these things. I spent a lot of time in that Bible, and I just got to a point where I used to be one of those guys, we the real Hebrews and we the Israelites. And then I
Right.
said,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I used to got caught up
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. I'm looking for my identity in a book written by others who dominated over the group of people that I'm genetically, DNA, scientifically, biologically born to. So, how am I going to search for a paper identity when my DNA scientifically shows me something different? It don't make
Right.
sense. It don't add up to my logical brain. The way my brain works. So respect to all of that, but I rather just move like I move, try my best to be the best person I can possibly be. And I don't need a religion to help me do that. I've been doing just fine on my own. I would argue that I'm more morally upright than a bunch of motherfuckers sitting in churches.
Right. 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 Absolutely. Yeah. 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 I agree. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah. I just believe that, man, and I think, like I said, religion and churches and stuff like that. Like you had some people who's had some struggles or whatever, and it has helped them. And so I have respect for it in that regard. You know what I mean? But I just think that, man, you know, uh, as humans, man, I mean, just put here on this planet, uh, I think you got a right, you know what I'm saying, to command your life, man. I mean, I think a lot of us fear that, you know what I mean? Because I think if you get to that point where you start commanding your life, you know what I'm saying, that means that you got to take full control, you know what I'm saying, of the outcomes that come along with that. You know what I'm saying? Responsibility. You know what I mean? So it's because when you command something, you're essentially saying that I'm accountable for whatever this outcome is. And I think a lot of times we want to shift that. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's why even if you conversating with somebody and you asking them about their opinion about something, you kind of want to shift that responsibility. Like, well, hey, you told me, you know what I'm saying, to do it. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, no, man, you can hear my stance on it or my experience with it, but you have to make the decision and the final decision for yourself. And I think that's intimidating for a lot of people to actually step into that and just say, like, like you just said, like, hey, I run my own program. So that you know what I'm saying, I got my own way of thinking. A lot of people are afraid of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because and I think it's the fear of failure, you know what I'm saying, or rejection. I think it's more so the rejection part. Because when you say that, you know what I'm saying, you actually going against a lot of times how you was raised. You see what I'm saying, or what your family believe in, or how they rock,
Mhm.
or how they. You see what I'm saying? So I think
Oh
that
yeah,
you know what I mean. So when you going against that, you looked at like motherfucker weird,
crazy.
man.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nah, boy.
yeah,
Man, I done
yeah,
definitely got into fist fights.
yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, literally over.
Y-
You crazy?
y-
You.
Yeah,
Oh man.
he losing his mind and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I've been told I read too much. Nigga, you read too much. You
Yeah,
read too many
yeah,
books.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
I've
what I
been
mean?
down
So
that
yeah.
road. Yeah, I'm seasoned at this point. I'm an old veteran
Yeah.
at this now.
Right, yeah. So yeah, so yeah, that I think that comes from because I'm just listening and I'm thinking and I'm like, a lot of brothers ain't gonna they can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I was talking to one of my customers, man, and I listened to him the other day, and he was just saying that you know, he asked me to do something, and I just told him, I said no, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then he was like, damn, man, like. you know, just like that, like you ain't gonna try to. And I said, nah, man, I don't. That's it, brother. It's no. Like I don't really. I don't even have to have no explanation behind it. You see what I'm saying? We don't even have to go into a lot of details. It's just the answer is no. You know what I mean? And then he called me back, and he was like, "Man, like, how did you feel so comfortable just saying that? Like, you wasn't afraid to, like, you know what I'm saying, lose me as a customer or whatever the case may be." I said, "Well, look, man." I'm not doing anything that go outside of, you know what I'm saying, my morals and my beliefs. You know what I'm saying? I run my own program. So if it takes for me to lose you as a customer, then I'm willing to do that. You see what I'm saying? But you can't shift me to do what it is that you want me to do when it goes outside of, you know what I'm saying, what I stand on and what I believe. So if you standing on what it is you believe and what it is that you want, then you have to find somebody who you're in alignment with. So you asked me to do that. So now I can see that me and you are not a good fit for each other. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
don't actually want to do anything else with you from this point on.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's just that,
I
man.
do.
You know,
That's a
yeah, yeah,
that's being
so that
that's being principle based,
right.
and
You know what I'm saying?
that's what makes us weak, because most of us are not principle based. We will do anything
Yeah,
which which compromises our moral position, compromises our soul, so to speak. That we'll do anything for money, we'll do anything for sex, we'll do anything which makes you degenerate. And if you're a degenerate in nature, then it's only a matter of time. Your frequency it belongs with the degenerates, those who, like you just spoke. I'm not a degenerate. I don't see things that way, and I don't move that way. It don't matter
right.
about what's the material gain. And that's what I was saying about our elders and 80 plus and ancestors. They had that, and that's why and they had it in numbers, and that's why they did so well out of slavery. That's why they did so well, because they had a moral code of behavior, principles that they stood on,
Yeah,
and that's
Thomas
what.
Sowell
Yeah,
spoke about that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He spoke on that, man. Yeah, Thomas Sowell spoke on that, man, and he was saying that, man, we had that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah, he definitely spoke on that, which exactly
Yeah.
what you just said.
So
Yep,
socially engineering a culture of degeneracy amongst people compromises your power with the universe. You spoke about being able to command the universe. You can't command the universe if you are morally or spiritually weak. The universe ain't hearing you.
absolutely.
You sending up mixed signals. If one minute you saying you upright, then the next minute you doing some shady shit, or some that's compromising moral integrity, then the universe is looking at you like, I'm supposed to trust you, motherfucker. I'm supposed to give you something.
Right.
I'm supposed to allow you to command me, the almighty universe.
Absolutely.
Are you lost your
Absolutely.
motherfucking rabbit ass human ass mind?
Yep.
Go, yeah, go sleep with the degenerates. You want to do degenerate underhand shit, but then
Yep.
that's who you are. That's who your character is. So you can't
Yep.
command shit. Shit ain't gonna work for you. And then you start blaming everybody else. Oh, it's this fault. It's the white man fault. It's this. No, it's your soul, nigga. It's your moral compass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolute. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm
And,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
it took me
man.
a while to figure it out because I was one of them motherfuckers. I was like,
You're right.
wait
Hey,
a
I
minute.
know, right? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
why is this not working? I'm doing everything I'm
yeah,
supposed to be doing. I'm
yeah,
going to school
yeah,
and I'm going to work and shit still ain't working for me. And it's like,
yeah,
no, you know
yeah,
all that other shit you did? You remember that?
yep,
Yeah, you got to
yep.
pay for that, homie. Yeah, you got to
Oh
pay.
man, the universe gonna definitely get. Hey, it's gonna make it. Go get. It's go. Boy, it gonna definitely get the tax, boy. Hey, you
Oh
gonna pay
yeah,
it.
you
You
gonna
know
pay
what I'm
for that.
saying? Yeah. Yeah, you gonna definitely pay, boy. You know what
So
I'm saying?
these are the laws of creation that we don't understand, and a lot of that is because we've been raised to think that that comes from a religion. That's one. And also, like you said, in survival mode.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
hard to, and who teaching these laws of creation? Who's teaching us these things? We've been in survival mode for the last 50, 60 years, really since we've been over here. But
yeah,
I can't. It's hard to make excuses for us now when well, all that time I spent studying those guys out of slavery, that Thomas Sowell spoke about, and he's a product of that generation. And we still living off the shit that they did to this
right,
day. We still living off the gains that they made. Because we ain't made much gains. We may think we have because we got a couple percent of us, literally 1.2 or 3% of us that are millionaires or billionaires. That's literally point something percent of the black population.
yeah,
That
yeah, definitely.
and also we equate success with money. and
Yeah,
and, and that's that's the biggest fraud and delusion and scam that they've been able to pull over our eyes, like the young man said, spiritual blindfold. Because if you running around thinking that just because a motherfucker got some money that means success, then if you
or that
following
he,
that person,
yeah, or that he know what the fuck he talking about. You
exactly.
see what I'm saying?
Exactly. More
That's
importantly, yeah,
yeah,
more importantly,
yeah,
that this motherfucker got some
yeah,
smarts. He's
right,
intelligent because he got some money. Man, I ain't never been like that. Personally, you triggered me because that shit used to irritate me when I was younger and out here in these streets and the high road, high ranking dudes would roll up and everybody would run
right,
to their car and shit. Hey, Mr. High ranking gang member guy. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck that nigga.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that nigga bleed the way I bleed. He put his pants on the
yeah,
same way I put my pants. It might have been my ego or whatever, but that shit used to irritate the shit out of me. And I'm like, that's
yeah,
a rotten motherfucker, that right. Not all of them, because some of them was good
right,
people.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah, but some of them I had interactions with. I'm like, you a rotten motherfucker. You a low down motherfucker. Rotten ass nigga. Greedy ass nigga. Fuck you. And I ain't kissing your
yeah,
motherfucking ass. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Cause I was looking, man. So Thomas Sowell said, he said that before the 1960s, when black families he said black families were more intact and communities were more self-reliant. Black men were making more steady progress despite harsher racism. So
mhm.
he said, so to him, the problem isn't oppression today, but the loss of culture and moral structure that once held us together. So he said that uh, he said so. Okay, so he said that the breakdown of families, discipline, and education within the parts of the black community did more damage than racism itself. So, man, that's exactly what you were just talking about. Yeah,
Yep.
about
Yeah.
back
So
to yeah.
let me ask you this, both of y'all. Do you see the average black man from our generation and your generation, Pete? Do you see them striving to become family men, to become husbands and fathers?
No,
I see some people like with that ideology, like they attempt or they just don't know exactly where to start or how to start or what it actually looks like or what it actually takes. Because I see a lot of people like with that in their mind, or they would say that that's what they want to do, but I think it's just bridging the gap of thinking it and actually doing it. But for
Okay.
some people also like they not focused on that. It's more about like if you take it from the street side, like where I grew up, it's more about having sex with the most ladies, making the most money, and competition, and being the ultimate street niggas.
Yeah.
But it's different places, different people actually think a little different, but it varies. It definitely varies.
Okay.
um, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. And the reason why I say I don't see it, like I said, I've seen some guys in the same household with they kids and they woman or wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them in the same household, But I can't actually say that I've seen them actually, with them. I don't actually see them having a mentality of actually building a family, because when you talk to them, it's more so, and it's just real shit that a lot of them are saying shit like this, like, you know, she ain't fucking enough. She getting on my nerves. Uh, that's why I fuck with my other bitches. You know, she don't cook. She don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real shit. That's usually what I hear is complaints. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? And then from the woman's side of it, you know what I'm saying? You hear, some of the similar things. And what about, like you said, he ain't paying for enough. So I don't actually see. I can't really say it. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say it. So what I see is chaos. You see what
Mm.
I'm saying? I don't see.
Mm.
I'm just here for my kids, man. Fuck it. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? Or
Yeah,
or they
yeah.
under the might as well act. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna be here because, fuck it. It's
I ain't
whatever.
got
I'm just
nowhere
used
else to
to.
go.
Exactly. See, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't got no keys.
Yeah,
I can't stand
yeah,
on my own. I got to be here. I'll be homeless.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see it. Yeah, like I said, I can say that some of them are in the households together, but I just see chaos. I don't, you know what I mean? Because yeah, I don't like it, man. I don't like to hear that shit,
Yeah.
because you know what
Yeah.
I mean. It's like, I got a sister, I got daughters, I got sisters, I got two sisters, I got a daughter, so I don't like to hear that, because it's like, damn, they gonna run up on this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that definitely makes me move a different way. That makes me definitely think a different way, because when we get back to talking about the power of the universe, you know what I mean? I can't be out here, what I'm saying, being, in that frame of mind and being disrespectful and putting that type of energy out here, and then don't expect the shit not to come back to mind. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
because it can't happen. It don't necessarily have to hit you shit, but it can hit the people around you. So it's like, you out here with this mentality, and you fucking over people, or, what I'm saying, mistreating your lady, but then you think a motherfucker she can't run up on the same motherfucker like you.
Oh
And
yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. So I always remind myself of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell my daughter and my sister that, hey, listen, you know, I'm working on your behalf, whether you know it or not. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I'm putting that out there, you know what I mean? Because I want the same thing to come back to you. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So yeah, because you my family. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
always keep that in, as one of my go-tos, you know what I mean? So yeah, but no, I don't see us building, man. And I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just speaking on what I'm experiencing. And
Yeah,
I, and I,
which is
yeah,
cool. Yeah, because you see, that's the purpose of this roundtable. Hopefully, it grows and we get more people, because you see how you had your perspective, I got mine, and you see the young man came in and said, "Yeah, but this." You see,
right, yeah,
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 yeah, and is able to see a different point. And I remember when I was younger, I created a baby at 16, and I thought that me and her was gonna be together forever. I'm like, oh, this my family, this my, I'm gonna create a baby with her. I intentionally got her pregnant. That wasn't no goddamn accident. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Yeah, she was
right,
14 years old, telling me, well, I'm too young to have a baby. I'll never forget. I had on the back of my apartment building, and I said, with my hand down her pants. I said, well, do you get your period? She said, yes. I said, well, you old enough to have a baby.
right,
And then
yeah,
proceeded to
yeah,
intentionally get her pregnant at 14.
right,
So yeah, but I thought I was supposed to be a family man. So I'm saying that because Pete, you're right. It's in us. It's in our DNA. It's in our coded instruction as males that we're supposed to go out, get somebody pregnant, and watch our seed come to fruition and nurture that as our family. The problem
Right.
is that we ain't men and we don't know shit about being men, and we definitely don't know nothing about being husbands and fathers.
Right.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah, but our
Yeah.
culture teaches us to have sex, 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 and then we got them live things swimming around inside of us. And this, I mean, this is my opinion and my thought, but I think those things be talking to us. You
Right.
know, you know what I'm talking about? Them little motherfuckers swimming around down there. There's millions
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
alive. They
Yeah.
are alive. Yeah, that woman, she got an egg. That egg ain't alive. That's just there. So, but in our culture, we've been raised to worship women and sex. So they've taken that and ran with it. So they've exalted themselves as gods, as being, oh, I'm the main one in the procreation process. I'm the mommy, and I'm this, and I'm that. Like they speak of themselves like superheroes. But if you look at nature, and if you look at reality, the reality of nature, the man has the biggest part in the reproductive and procreation cycle because we have live things swimming around inside of us up until the day we die. They are
Yeah.
live. You can get somebody pregnant and and be 98 years old and die the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the male is the main course or the main part of the reproduction process. And if you look across nature, all species, you'll see that. The man is the dominant force. He's the one who comes and says, I want my seed to go right there. So when you're a male, them things is talking to you. And it's millions of them. They dying to get out. They want to get out all the time. And that's what they want to get out. I was
Yeah.
out
Yeah. They
yesterday with
definitely
my
trying to
wife.
go to work.
Yeah, I was out with my
Yeah.
wife. I
Yeah.
was looking around. I'm like, man, they talking. They like, I would like to go over there. I want to go over there. I would
Yeah.
love to be
Yeah.
over there. Like, you want to put me over there? I'm like, shut the fuck up. We right here.
Right.
Well,
Right.
she don't look the way she used to look. I don't even like going in there anymore. I'm like, hey, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Yeah.
I love her. You love
Yeah.
her, but we love everything.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you better shut up.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother.
So
Absolutely, man.
that's the
Yeah.
battle, and that's what sexual discipline comes in at that builds your man character, is being able to be selective and understand that. But anyway, I talked a lot, but that I wanted to get that out because that those things do talk to us, man. That motherfuckers be talking all the time. Wake up talking to you. Wouldn't you like to look at that one? Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You see that?
Absolutely.
Go.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Yeah. You ain't
uh,
lying.
I'll conclude.
Yep.
Uh, and I'll conclude with my statement as being that yes, I think that the conditions of black males in America is in dire state of emergency, and that we need to have some radical thinkers, and to produce radical change. If we don't, if we continue with the status quo, then will continue to be, not will be, but continue to be eliminated. And you won't even recognize us in the next 20, 30 years. I mean, not a masculine black male. You won't even see us no more. And you're already starting to see that. Most of our representation are effeminate, feminized black males, and I'm not just saying gay, I ain't even talking about that population. I'm just talking about just, soft in their stance and soft in their posture. And you're going to
Complain
continue
about
to
it.
get that. Huh?
Some of the men and complain about everything instead of doing something about it.
That's effeminate in their posture. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
They
And those who the brother was talking about, who just go along to get along and accept leadership from any and everybody and just to fit in. That's being soft in the posture. And if we don't produce some real manhood and some masculinity, to like Rico said, he gave that example. He stood on his principles with his client and wouldn't do anything for money. If we don't have that type of moral character and substance and being produced and replenished into males, it's over. It's over. I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but we won't. I'm telling you, if you got sons, I got a little 3-year-old, and if you got grandkids or whatever coming up, the world's gonna look real different for them.
Hmm.
Real different. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that because that's like me standing up like he trying to offer me that 45K. I'm like, man, you trying to play me? Now I would have took it because I'm fucked up. Like,
Right, right, right,
I'm
right.
broke. I'm broke, but it's like my manhood just couldn't let me just accept it, like knowing that he just trying to get over on me. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, come on now, I'm back on rent, no car, no none, and lost all my clothes, everything going bad. But I just
She
couldn't
she
accept.
put the bleach on your clothes.
Nah.
Oh,
I
okay.
just
My
I
fault. Go
just
for
couldn't
it.
accept that the fact that like if he wasn't trying to finesse me and I wasn't if I wasn't aware of him trying to finesse me, I probably would just took the money. But me just knowing that he just trying to tell me anything just to get me to just go for anything, I would have took that money. But I'm like, man, nah, man, it's I forget it's a certain word that goes straight to it, but it's like my honor, man, and me just having to stand on something. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you gotta stand for something to fall for anything. I just couldn't let him just work me like that. Like I don't know, I just can't do it. As a man, you ain't about to just get down on me like that. Yeah, nah.
Right, right.
Even if I'm in need, I'm at my lowest, at my weakest. I'm not going for that.
Yeah, man. Uh, you say, but see, and that's that. I think that's the problem. Like that's the issue, like right there, because like you just said, you like, man, shit, you on the flow. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, man, I, 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 I need this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need some bread. You know, so it's. I think that's what a lot. That back to that whole survival piece. You know, we're in a state of survival, man, and yeah, I think that I'm gonna close with this, man. Um, I think it's just time for us to get out of this mindset of surviving and start understanding and let's get from up under this illusion, man. You know what I mean? Like we got a problem. And I think that we have to first recognize that um to before we can even address it. Because we are gonna be obsolete if we don't begin to, you know what I'm saying, find some truth and understanding that uh this shit is it's fucked up. Like it's been going against us since the beginning. And we actually feeding it, man. Because we actually agreeing to a lot of this shit and we just going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Um and we gotta find a way to try to find some peace, some purpose, you know what I'm saying, and some discipline. You know what I'm saying? We gotta find a way to do that, man. And that's gonna come with you being you standing on principles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of us, if especially for the guys that have been out here in the street, right? You you didn't had these principles or whatever that you supposedly been standing on, whether that's shit, no tricking, no whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, or whatever organization you was a part of, you had, you know what I'm saying, uh this laws that you had to follow. So you know what I'm saying, find something for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying, be man enough to say, man, shit, who am I, man? You know what I'm saying? What's my worth? You know what I mean? You know, and understand that shit, own it. Hey, I'm fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused. And then try to get with some brothers, man, who can help you. You know what I'm saying? And be open minded to listening. You see what I'm saying? And not just a motherfucker who lead because he got the bag. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to some people who actually, man, who have actually turned their shit around. You know what I'm saying? Who got the experience, man, and where they can kind of give you their experience and what it took for them, and then you can kind of put your own twist on it. You know what I'm saying? And then and make it work. But um, we just gotta lose um this. I ain't gonna say not the victimhood. No, I will say that we gotta lose this shit, man, and understand that we are fucked up when it comes to having the know-how to use the information that, you know what I'm saying, is being provided for us, man. You know what I'm saying? The lack of understanding about it. Because if you understand economics, you understand policy, you understand politics, you understand finances, then you'll if you can start to begin to understand that, you might just move a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, one of the traps is materialism that you spoke about earlier. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Mhm.
first thing we doing, man. We ain't actually building. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get a bag, man, you making an exchange to give it right back. And then you just chasing your tail every fucking time, man. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you get all these people who catch these licks and shit like that, and then they don't do nothing with it. You see what I'm saying? Because that go back to what I just said, the lack of understanding about finances. You know what I'm saying? You in a hurry to show a motherfucker that you got it when you really didn't gain shit, but some material shit that's
Mhm.
most of the time, you know what I'm saying, a depreciating situation there. You see what I'm saying? It ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna just close with that, man. That you know, let's lose the illusion, man, and just understand that shit. This shit, everything that you doing right now, the very people that you saying oppress is the oppressor, or has oppressed you and things of that nature, brother. You following every fucking thing he telling you to do, whether you realize it or not, and it's keeping your ass on the floor. So just stop for a minute and just think about that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there. You know.
Okay. Pete, you want to conclude?
Yeah, I
Or did
say it's definitely we definitely in a state of emergency and not even knowing. And that's really the worst part because if the house on fire and you sleep, more than likely you gonna burn up with the house. So it's like psychologically we unaware of the downward spiral that we're going in. And it's because the our morals, values, and standards as a culture are depreciating. Like if we don't come together and rebuild that, then it's like I said, the gap is gonna get wider. It's just gonna get worse and worse. You're gonna have people who are independently building their moral standards and values, but as we spoke on, this has to be something as a whole for entire culture to strengthen our culture. So if it's only a few people doing it, all right, that's good. But it just get weaker and weaker, like as the majority of people are not caring about their moral standards and values because most people like they I think the things that all of us like cared about growing up as a whole were like the wrong things, you know. Like if we care about, like you said, our clothes more than building a community, then I think our values are off. And if our values are off, our loyalty to certain things will be skewed, and our actions will be based off our value, our moral standards and values. So if those aren't intact, then we will be going, we will potentially be going against what we need to do for our culture.
Mhm.